Have you ever thought about the secret lives of mountains? Are they like the Ents from Lord of the Rings, asleep until you happen to climb on their face? Do they speak to each other in long, drawn-out sentences that take hundreds of years to complete? What if their speech sounded like whale song if you slowed it down or brought up the pitch? Maybe we do hear the mountains whisper in our ears, and our brains just translate it as wonder. If we spend more time in the mountains, do our brains translate the language of the mountains better? I think the Earth as a whole is always speaking to us, in a nearly imperceptible, hushed voice. If only we would stop and listen for a moment or more, we might hear what it's telling us. We've landed here for a night, a spot perched on the side of the water, in an inlet nestled into the side of Kluane Lake. It's a beautiful spot, but not one we'll stay at for any longer than a night. There are places to be, and things to see, as they say. Meg prepares fuel for the day's drive, and I, well, just sit there and salivate.
Homegrown sprouts?
I'm so stoked to eat those.
Can't believe it's taken me this long.
This is mine.
I want yours too.
Look at that.
Look at
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Hold on, I don't think it focused on the sandwich. Put the sandwich back there. Yeah, look at that sandwich. Yeah. All right, well, we're heading to Tok, Alaska today. And we're going to be there for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that. So here we go.
USA.
Northward.
So we're exposed.
It's the start of a very long drive day. Tok lies 5 hours northwest of here, and the road leading there is about the bumpiest, rutted, and abused road you've ever driven on. The winters here and frost heave are not kind to pavement in this area of the world, which makes maintaining roads a real nightmare. We're putting our heads down to get the drive over with, so see you in Alaska.
Oh.
What do you smell?
Should we pet him?
One night and one more day of driving later, we pulled into a spot just off the highway, a couple hours from Anchorage. Yeah, that is correct. These are the sights you see while driving through Alaska. You want to go yet?
Well, we've only been in Alaska for about a day thus far. We stopped on the side of the highway to do a little bit of work. And based on what's behind me, I think we're in for a pretty good old Alaskan adventure. Come along, it's gonna be great.
As we near the coast, it's quite apparent that sunlight is not going to be a widely available resource for us to create electricity. So to stay charged, we need to keep on moving.
Okay. This is freaking wild. What do you say about the gravel bar over there?
Put the van down there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Didn't even see it. Cold plunge?
No! You have to actually like full on lay down in that. No, that's not gonna happen.
Dare you?
Nope. What have you got, love?
Maggie's famous salad.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Arugula, mixed greens, cucumber, apple, shallot, dates, feta cheese, chicken, lemon juice, olive oil, and honey. And some everything but the bagel seasoning on top.
So you basically just like hurled the pantry at it.
Yes. These are all things we always have on hand.
I'm always quite excited for chicken night. Chicken night. Oh, I'm so excited to eat this. Woo! So Meg went for all the white meat. I like dark meat, as you guys obviously can see.
Oh my god.
All right, babe.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetities. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So many flavors.
You love this salad.
Oh, this is God. High five.
Never miss.
Never miss. And now for the follow-up. Dessert. What have we made?
It's a lemon pound cake, and I've topped it with vanilla yogurt and fresh organic blueberries. That's dreamy.
Folks, if you're wondering at this point how I'm not fatter than I am, I have no answer for you. Because we eat well. Okay, now you're gloating.
It's pretty easy for us in the van to close the door on the world, especially when it's dark, gloomy, cold, wet, or there are bugs finding their way inside. Admittedly, we do this all too often. It's easy to paint a picture for you that we're outdoorsy people that spend every waking moment wandering blissfully through the outside world. I guess that picture is thoroughly painted in these videos, but it's not altogether the truth. We spend a lot of time inside the van, working, editing, eating, and just existing. Unfortunately, I think it's resulting in a funny paradox. We're experiencing the outside world from the safety of our home. Sometimes I think that we're not stopping enough to listen, to feel, to smell, and simply absorb our surroundings. Maybe I'm being too hard on us. We're out here after all. We've traded the security of a home and stable job for minute and ever-present daily struggle, just so we can walk out our door and be surrounded by all of this.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay.
Well, we're deep in Alaska now. We didn't come here to just sit around. It's time to go find a ribbon of dirt to follow, just so we can see what's at the end. Let's go on a hike.
Right, left.
Well, another day, another hike. We're doing Reed Lake today out here in Alaska. And 14 kilometers with 14 kilometers with 700 meters gain. So it's just a long out and back.
We'll see.
But boy, oh boy, the views already are quite spectacular. Said views. That really excites me. That is a Super Cub. Stoked. I want to fly one so bad.
Wild bloobs.
Boobs.
More of nature's bounty.
Those are beautiful.
Aren't they? They're like perfect little morsels.
I
Yeah.
found some blueberries. That's the berry eating face.
Yummy!
Happy girl.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find more?
I can't help myself. These ones are ripey. Look at this bounty.
Can you eat all of them at once?
You want some?
Yeah.
You don't like blueberries, you can't have any.
No.
Look who's picking blueberries now.
Alright. So she got me into it. There's so many. No trail snaps.
Of course, Mike has found a friend.
Timelessness. Definition: the quality of something that doesn't seem to be affected by the passage of time or changes in fashion. Timelessness is a word I use often to describe a wondrous place. I think we all know that everything is eventually affected by time. However, it would seem like this place is not. It's a spot that us humans would describe as a place as old as time, which in actuality is quite an apt description. These mountains and valleys likely looked quite the same when the concept of time was invented. Can you picture one of those hyperlapse scenes in a movie? I always remember a scene I saw in a movie of city streets with the herds of people moving in a steady direction. There's a signpost or parked car that remains in place as the people that, when sped up, look like water going around a rock in a river. It's easy to envision the passage of time occurring like that over 500,000 or a million years at the foot of these mountains. Streams form and change, seasons change the color of the mat of trees and foliage, fires ravage the area, leaving it black, only for nature to quickly take it back. Winter white, summer color, back to winter. Long dark nights exchanged for long bright days. Our momentary passage through these lands wouldn't even represent the tiniest blip in that movie scene. Timelessness. When faced with the memory, knowledge, and wisdom that a place like Alaska has gathered, it seems to us that it is a place unaffected by time.
Well, unfortunately there's no cold plunge and Alex screaming loudly in this video. So we're just gonna head back on down because it looks like weather's coming in. High five! Yeah. How's your deep apple?
Duty. Toxic.
Excellent.
Rain! No!
Well,
We made it!
turns out it wasn't 14 kilometers, it was 16.4 kilometers.
16.
And how many meters of elevation?
670.
670. Great hike, do suggest, but holy heck, we are sore.
To yourself.
Shut up.
Exhausted, sore, at least one of us, and ready to rest, we quickly found a spot to stay for the night and plunged into sleep shortly after parking at 9 p.m. The next day, with clouds still clinging to the mountaintops, we were once again forced to keep on moving.
Hi. Little sweet.
Live a some more, getting out of my way. I was hiding, bulletproof, forever waiting. Then came you.
Alaska has totally and completely exceeded our expectations already, and we are only a few days in. What lies ahead is unknown, but we're ready and we are excited for it.
I thought I was. I was picking up the pieces of yesteryear's life, in over my head, trying to figure out. I was going through changes, where to begin, when a mountain moving revelation came marching in. I thought I was what
Well, would you look at that? Sunshine. Can you believe it? We were warned by several others, as well as our weather apps, that rain was inbound. With that knowledge, we said full send anyways, and made tracks in the direction of the Kenai Peninsula. When there's sun in the sky, you've got to make the best of it. The mountains in this region of Alaska are outstanding, and the glaciers absolutely legendary. So we're on our way to hike up to the Harding Icefield and Exit Glacier in the Kenai Fjords National Park. Arriving at the park entrance a lot later in the day than we likely should have, it was quite apparent that with the bright and warm sunshine, so too had come many other people. What could have been a leisurely hike turned into a hustle up the mountain as each person that we saw ahead of us turned into the next person we had to pass.
I also want to fly one of those.
Needless to say, we made it to the top promptly. What we found at the top was not what I expected. A sheet of ice hundreds of feet thick, draped over mountain tops with only their peaks poking through. That's a lot of ice. A quick descent and short drive later, we had arrived at camp for the night. Silence. Have you ever witnessed something so rare? No, really. Think about it. Can you hear cars outside, other people, a jet overhead, birds chirping? Complete silence is actually so incredibly rare. Even what you're witnessing right now isn't even completely silent. Think about this the next time you notice the deafening silence of a grand setting, and savor it while you can.
Put on some shoes that I can actually run in.
No, not towards me!
What?
No splashing!
Come on, get warm. Please. Stop laughing.
The next day, after a rainy few hours of driving, we found the coast while searching for camp. If you've been following us for a while, you'll be familiar with our Baja travels. We don't really shy away from deep sand and have been known to refer to airing down our tires as putting the van in four-wheel drive. This beach with its deep rocks stopped us in our tracks. So, here we are, testing out the van on new terrain. And once again, it would appear that simply airing down your tires and getting a little momentum is one of the very best tricks to getting through soft terrain.
Well, this stuff is definitely not sand. It certainly fights you a heck of a lot more than sand does, but we managed to make it. Yet another Overlander spot that required 4x4 to get to, and challenge accepted.
We've had issues with our electrical system ever since we left on this leg of the trip. With this lingering issue, I often find it hard to focus elsewhere. My mind is easily consumed by thought about how I can fix a problem I can't even find. It loops all day and puts me in a sour mood, and ultimately takes away from my enjoyment of what we're out here doing. This, right here, what you are looking at, is how I bring myself back. The outside world in all its grandiosity and minutiae is such a splendidly intricate thing to behold, and it is what we are out here to explore. I have found that if I take myself out of the world and live in my head, I am not accomplishing what I have set out to do. I'm not reaching my goal of being closer to the big spaces, the open spaces, and the myriad intricacies of the living world.
Well, we just went to go and start the van, and our battery's dead. And I have been kind of like looking at the starting battery as a possible problem for the charging issues that we've been having for a while. And so maybe this is the sign that we're getting from the automotive universe that our starting battery is really dead. So I'm going to try something that I've wanted to try for a long time, which is actually jumping the van from our house battery. So let's see if it works. Alright, let's see. Oh, come on. What the heck? It's showing 12.7 volts. Alright. 12.9 down there. I don't know if I'm being too... Nope. Okay, so I accidentally maybe had just tried it and it started. Yeah, I know, I'm a bad YouTuber. I was supposed to shoot that, but van started. Yay!
To AutoZone we go, to AutoZone we go, doo-dee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo, to AutoZone we go. It's good that we're close to one. Thanks, Alaska.
Okay, now we gotta get out of here. I don't know how these stones are going to go when they are soaking wet. It's raining pretty hard right now.
Like they might get slippy.
Yeah,
Ooh.
they were pretty slippery already.
That'll be a fun morning.
Yeah.
Car doesn't start, can't get out of the camp spot.
Just another day living in a van that you drive.
Wouldn't it be cool if changing out the starting battery solved all our electrical issues?
Yes, that would be a dream come true, honestly, at this point. All right, we're gonna try and get out of here now. Sticker in first. Our tires are down at like 25 psi, so we float pretty good, but this stuff is deep. Here we go.
All right, now let's leave her running for our air up. We have arrived.
Well, we may have just figured out the issue, and the catalyst for figuring out the issue was actually Meg. She's like, well, did you check all your connections? And I'm like, yeah, I checked my connection. Turns out that the ground wire on the top of the battery, the butterfly nut that I have on the top, it's tight, but the battery lead or the cable lead that I have on here is not tight. It is actually quite loose. So hopefully, by tightening this up really good, it will solve our kind of crummy charging issues that we've been having. Moral of the story is that to all those younger men out there, not that I'm particularly old, but when you're frustrated, listen to your lady because she's often the voice of reason.
No dice.
Okay, everything I said was wrong.
Turns out I'm not a mechanic. That may have been the issue with the DC-DC.
that may have accounted for our DC-DC charging issue, but this battery just might be tired. I don't know for sure. Well, we may have run it dry last night, just by leaving the ignition on, and then like on the drive here just didn't charge quite enough. Or alternators may be failing as well.
Way to lift with your legs, babe.
It's not the battery. Now that we suspect it's a starter, we're going to do one last test, and that's to hit it with a hammer. This is an actual test. Your mechanic will tell you, or ask you, have you hit your starter with a hammer yet? That's what it was.
Always check your connectors, folks.
Always check your connections. So I went to go start pulling off the starter, and I noticed that one of the connections on the terminals was like pretty loose. I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's what it is. There you go. All that trouble for nothing.
Turns out I am a mechanic.
Do you guys see it? Does everyone see the ocean?
Alright, let's see when her rear end starts bouncing here.
We'll find out pretty quick, I'm sure. Yeah, pretty quick.
Alright, you can do it, big girl. Should we just go right here?
Parking up on this beach with its gloomy skies, sprinkling rain, and boisterous seagulls had us quickly feeling like we were back on the Oregon coast. We stayed here for just a night before continuing further west.
Show me your breakfast. Show it to me.
Breakfast. It's a chunky monkey bowl.
A chunky monkey bowl?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice chunky monkey bowl. Very nice chunky monkey bowl.
Very nice.
Very nice. Much success. Excellent nutrition.
It's gorgeous.
My word! Look at those big mama jambas. They're huge.
Over the following 2 days, we traveled to the end of the road at Homer, explored there a little, took care of some errands, but mostly just stayed out of the rain. We went to a brewery that allowed us to use one of their receptacles to charge our batteries while we sipped our beers very slowly. The rain didn't really stop the entire time. Sometimes this kind of thing happens. Because we move around as much as we do, right now not entirely by choice, we don't allow ourselves enough time to wait out bad weather. The reality of travel is that there will be bad weather days. You just have to roll with it.
So I'll admit to you right now that we don't do very well in the rain. It absolutely poured rain all day yesterday, from the start of our drive all the way until we got here. So we pretty much just kind of drove around Homer a little bit, got some beers, got some food, and then came to find this spot. But I mean, at least we've got a really beautiful view. Rain is supposed to keep up, so I think we're just gonna turn around, and yeah, the rain's really dampening our spirits, unfortunately. We just kind of suck at being wet, which is odd for being West Coasters.
Of course, as soon as we began our ascent out of Homer, the sun started to penetrate the clouds, and the mountains emerged from their cloudy hiding places. We, on the other hand, drove straight back into the rain. Luckily, we had something to look forward to. Our friends Andrea and Christian of Flurry Adventures were parked at a lake not far off our path, and we diverted to go spend an evening with them before continuing north. I mentioned before how the people you meet at the north end of the Pan American Highway will be the people you wind up leapfrogging all the way down to South America. This right here is a prime example of that, and we couldn't have chosen a better couple to play leapfrog with. Meg and I love each other very much, and we do quite well in each other's company, but it's nice to have guy time and girl time respectively. As you can see, Christian and I are two guys that need to horse around from time to time.
Getting water.
Getting...
We're doing some soup later, so we need water.
The evening went on. We enjoyed food and conversation together and watched as the world went slowly by, and night eventually settled on our little hideaway in the woods. The following morning, there was sunshine on the ground, light peeking through the leaves, and wind tousling our hair. We enjoyed breakfast with our friends in the warm sunlight, then bid them farewell, our paths only crossing for an evening as we go in opposite directions. With sunshine beaming down from the sky, it means it's time to climb closer to it. There's a hike to be done on our route towards Anchorage, so let's get to stepping.
I think it's going to be a Neenacker 5000.
5,000?
Yeah.
I can probably deal with an Enacker 5000 today. My knees feel pretty good, so.
We're doing Slaughter Ridge, everybody. Short arm.
Ridge! Yeah, Slaughter Ridge!
We got probably like 8.5 kilometers and 850 meters gained. Alex's old man knees might die on the way down.
What do you think? Slaughter Ridge up there?
I think it might be over there.
Are we gonna die?
Yeah.
We're gonna get totally slaughtered.
Yeah.
Well, that's Slaughter Ridge. Do we feel slaughtered?
Slightly.
Mildly slaughtered. But now it's time for the Neenacker 5000. 5,000! That'd be like 10,000. 5,000! Oh, hey. Look at this. Someone left their camera here on the ground. Isn't that wild?
Another hour of driving and we had arrived yet again at another camp spot. We found it difficult to find secluded places here on the Kenai Peninsula. With the influx of summer tourist traffic and people here to fish, vacant overnight camp spots are virtually non-existent.
Looks pretty good.
Due to not really being able to find vacant camp spots, we wound up parking dangerously close to the tide line overlooking the Turnagain Arm. Tide charts showed a 33-foot or 10-meter tide, with high tide being at 11:30 p.m. We watched nervously as the fastest tide we'd ever seen rushed up towards the van. Luckily, it stopped about 3 feet from our tires, leaving us safe and sound and able to sleep. From here, we're heading inland towards Denali to see some more of our road family, after which we'll drive the Denali Highway back towards the Canadian border, which will mark the end of our time here in Alaska. I think van life could be accurately described as a continuous series of small struggles, small victories, and random occurrences while seemingly wandering aimlessly through a landscape. This week's random occurrence has landed us with two fellow YouTube road dwellers. You may know them as Foresty Forest and Adventure Time Louie, but we just call them Simon and Louie. We're parked up on the side of the Knik River. Simon is trying in vain to split firewood with a small hatchet, and Meg is preparing another edible van life delight. A quiet fireside evening with delicious food, story swapping, and laughter is in order. We've all certainly got lots to talk about.
Go Chevy team!
Ooh, this is like more juice than beer.
Yeah,
I like
That's
that.
my kind of drink too. I always get the juicy ones.
Nice.
Oh, okay, let's see it.
Kenai River salmon.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Louie caught some salmon a few weeks ago and is graciously sharing some with us tonight. Watching these beautiful salmon steaks slow cook over this crackling fire has my mouth watering in anticipation. And maybe yours too?
Oh, you! Oh, you're so cute. You're a menace. Rocco.
Delicious salmon. Beautiful. And we're gonna eat dinner in Louie's new box truck.
Yeah!
From U-Haul.
Dogs are good eaters.
What have we got, Meg?
A little arugula salad and a rice pilaf.
Arugula salad and rice pilaf.
But she made this in the mid.
Carrot cake.
That is absolute.
I haven't tried this, so it could be poison.
You gotta eat it first then.
It's a sourdough carrot cake with cream cheese frosting.
I mean, I'll take it first.
Do you want it on your dinner plate?
Yeah, it's a clean start here. Yeah, it's super moist. I can tell already.
Not supposed to use that word.
Yeah, that's the worst word. I'm zooming in on your face.
This is life changing. You didn't make this in a van. You have a
Here you
secret.
go, Louie.
You haven't seen the kitchen in there.
All right.
Alright, Louie.
I'm sure it's
Tell us what you think.
was good. Like, what the heck? It is moist. That's the only way you can describe it.
I may have played it cool while we were hanging out, but let me assure you, I had to work hard not to fanboy. You see, Simon is the guy who inspired me to start a YouTube channel, and now after 3 years of making videos, I'm sharing a meal with him. I can still remember the evening when I was sitting watching his videos and thought to myself, I can do that. And shortly after, went and got a camera and started making videos. Both Simon and Louis are such inspirational people, and I'm sure they have been responsible for many untold van life and adventure travel Genesis stories. It was an honor and a privilege to spend time with them as 4 humans sharing food and conversation in a grand and picturesque setting. To add to our story of random occurrences, the next morning, this beauty showed up in our camp for a quick snack.
Did you two just become berry besties?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening here? Oh my goodness. How are you making out over there, Louis?
Good. Willing to get in the bush for them.
Our story of random occurrences doesn't end at camp with our friends. Mr. Bob Wells, or as we like to call him, the godfather of van life, showed up at our camp. Truth be told, he was there to do a tour of our van, but it so happened that he was able to meet up while we were with Simon and Louis. I think we all sat there a little dumbfounded as Bob did a little bit of shooting. It all didn't really seem real. I think Rocco enjoyed the show too.
Well, after my long interview with Mr. Bob Wells, Cheap RV Living, we have breakfast. What's for breakfast today?
You're welcome.
You are my new boop. That's so beautiful.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot when I work.
As all good things must end, our time with our friends quickly came to a close as we had to push north towards Cantwell.
No, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. There we go.
Yay!
Alright, cool.
Yay.
Well, it's good to hang out for the night, guys. Maybe we'll see you in the Yukon.
The momentary pause in the constant barrage of Alaskan rain that graced us while we were with Simon and Louis was short-lived, and we once again found ourselves plowing through sheets of hard driving rain, and eventually found a spot to pull over for the evening. This spot, as you can see, comes with nature's best white noise machine. Tonight, we're gonna sleep good.
Well, honey, what do you think? Delicious?
Yeah, yummy. Foraged raspberries and cranberries.
So we're finally on our last leg of our Alaskan journey. We've been moving every day since we've been here, just like trying to keep our batteries charged and escape the cold and the rain. We're en route to our friend's place that we met in Baja in Denali Park. So that's really exciting because we'll have a place to plug Betty in and do laundry and shower, which are things that we haven't done in a long time. So yeah, let's go. Last stretch of Alaska.
The downside to doing these long drive days in the rain is that you really don't get to see much. Luckily, however, as we approached Cantwell, the clouds started to lift and the mountains began to reveal themselves and their nice new white hats. Two hours of driving later, we had arrived at our friend's place. If you know them well enough, you'll have heard about their impressive history of travel both by vehicle and plane. Their property is rich with relics of the past that hint at the adventurous life lived by these two Alaskans. But perhaps you haven't heard their story, but you might recognize this. The farther, I know at least some of you have seen this beautiful hand-built travel behemoth. Tim and Denise have lived on this property and in this area for over 40 years, back in the days when you truly had to be a very hardy person to live this far out. Long before either of us was born, Tim came up from California with his VW van, met Denise, and soon after they started life together, eventually purchasing land here where they have been base camping ever since. Yes, indeed, we are staying at the Taylor Base Camp. Here at Taylor Base Camp, where classic rock is always playing and good food is plentiful, we stayed and spent a few days with these new members of our road family. Tim and Denise are the kind of people we aspire to be. Kindred souls that took up a life of adventure together, living within their means, collecting stories and memories. We watched a short film of their time spent in Tibet long ago. I kid you not, these two should have been National Geographic photographers. The richness of culture, life in a different country, and personalities they captured in photographs was absolutely incredible.
Ruby! Come on! Let's give us a hug!
Hi, Ruby. These are so cute.
This short snippet of our life that we're sharing with you in video wouldn't be complete without a hike and a good look at some wild places. So it's a good thing we're so close to the Denali National Park.
So today, as one of probably the only hikes that we're doing in the Denali National Park, we're doing Savage Ridge.
Savage Alpine Trail.
Which in the last video, we did Slaughter Ridge. There seems to be a trend here. Yeah, it's totally savage, dude.
Hanging out.
My takeaway from all this time spent with friends and fellow travelers is this. The world is a big and beautiful place, and a lone person can enjoy it immensely. Many do so by choice, but I firmly believe that the relationships we form and feed amplify the enjoyment of our experience, and that a life shared with someone is an incredible gift. The things we see, hear, smell, feel are all ephemeral experiences that our minds can only hang on to for so long. The benefit of shared experience is that you get a chance to hang on to those memories for a little bit longer, to continue to share in the joy that a moment brought for maybe a few more years before that moment is lost to time. What we have gained from sharing these experiences of human connection with you is a reminder of the gratitude we have for the people that fill up our lives and aid in retaining the memory of joy, wonder, sorrow, pain, and all of the intricacies that make up the human experience. We are grateful for each other, and we are grateful for the opportunity to share our story with you.
What are you doing?
Having a munch. Oh, they're a little bitter, actually.
Let's see them blueberries. Oh, yeah. Steve! Steve!
What?
Steve! Wait, that's not Steve. It's Alan! 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 The return portion of this hike is going to take a very long time, I think. Meg, come on! What did you get?
Thai food!
Thai food!
Thai food in Alaska! We had to at least get it once because there's freaking Thai food everywhere in Alaska.
What is it? Ooh, is that the green curry?
Shrimp pad thai.
Oh, shrimp pad thai. I don't know anything about Thai food. I've really had very little of it.
Green curry.
Oh, that's green curry.
It's not spicy at all.
It's not spicy. That's not good. How do forks work again? All right, well, successful hike. High five.
Way to go.
Dinner time. Yeah.
Dinner time.
Seeing as Tim and Denise have a large shop on their property, it seemed prudent to do some well-needed maintenance on Betty the van. An oil change, tire rotation, and new alternator was all on the list. If you don't know by now, living in a van means you're constantly doing maintenance. Admittedly, I'm a little bit behind on what needs to be done, mainly due to the rain. After changing out our starting battery and seeing no positive change in our house battery charging, I had one last thing to try, a new alternator.
You need help?
Good. Ah, there we go.
That was a really good sound.
Betty has about 236,000 kilometers on the engine, and we're still driving on the original alternator.
You will come out. There you go. One Bosch 105 amp alternator.
Sticking a bit of grease in the plug.
Yeah.
What is dielectric?
So it's a non-conductive grease that you put on the contact faces of electrical connections, and it just prevents rust.
So, darling, are you counting down the days until you can get a toolbox as tall as you?
Yes.
All in a day's work.
200 to 300,000 kilometers, in my experience, is usually when a lot of the secondary parts in a vehicle start to fail. The alternator has been a suspicion for a while. I've just been too preoccupied to do anything about it until now.
Well, I'm seeing 25.5 amps, so it hasn't dropped yet. But
I suspect, judging by the initial results, that the alternator was in fact the culprit for all of our charging issues, and the reason that we've been dealing with electrical issues our entire trip thus far. Knowing what I know now, I should have done the replacement much earlier. As they say, hindsight is 20/20. And then just like that, we were parting ways with our friends. Tim and Denise will miss you dearly and look forward to spending more time with you. Travel well, travel safe, and keep on collecting those stories. We want to hear them all.
More traveling like us. So glad you guys stopped by. Oh, yeah.
Next on our list is the Denali Highway, a stretch of road that passes through an astoundingly beautiful and vast swath of Alaskan wilderness. With 2 weeks of rain in Alaska thus far and only a handful of days of sunshine, we were kind of hoping that starting out on the Denali Highway, we might see the sun poke its head out again. Unfortunately, that's not the case today, but the forecast is saying we're headed for some sunny spots. So, let's make tracks and go find it. After leaving our friends Tim and Denise in Cantwell, we're now officially on the return trip back to Canada. We're driving east on the Denali Highway to Paxson. This stretch of road will take us through one of Alaska's most scenic stretches of open land, complete with towering peaks, glaciers, sweeping valleys, rivers, and countless lakes. We'll be staying 2 nights in this region, and with any luck, we'll feel the warmth of the sun once again. It doesn't look like the sun will really shine for us today, which has left the air outside chilly, prompting the leaves to begin changing their color.
Blueberries at camp.
Did you get some blueberries?
Yes. There's finally blueberries at camp. Can you believe it? They're so yummy.
What are you gonna make with them?
Jam. Jam.
Jam. Got it. Got it the first time.
Picking blueberries is a real patience type sport.
What have you done, love?
I've picked a bunch of blueberries and I'm gonna pick more. But right now I'm gonna make jam out of these and I'm gonna make lemon blueberry sweet rolls with the cream cheese frosting for my birthday dessert.
Wowzers.
Okay, so I picked those blueberries and then I made lemony blueberry jam, and now we're baking up some lemony blueberry sweet rolls
Oh my gosh.
with lemony cream cheese frosting.
Are you a magician? Are you a bakery magician?
You should have seen what these look like when they went in the pan. It looked like it was going to be a horrible
Those look so good.
fail.
So when we first got here, Meg disappeared into the blueberry bush we were probably there for like an hour, and then came back with that massive thing full of blueberries, and now I get to reap the rewards.
Oh yeah. Now we gotta put some icing. Oh yeah, baby. Here we go. Super yum. Really soft. And the blueberries are kind of tart with the sweet icing. Good birthday dessert.
clouds had slowly moved in on our location while we feasted on lemony blueberry rolls. But moments before the sun was blocked for the night, a vibrant painting erupted on the mountainside, and we were treated to a palette of color that only Mother Nature has perfected. The beauty of the life we live, mobile, constantly on the move, frugal, and without many modern conveniences, is the openness we have to moments and scenes like this. Sure, one day we'll trade it in for a stationary life, but for now we're absorbing all of this like a sponge, soaking up every ray of light, every subtle hue, every fleeting moment. And when the moment is thoroughly soaked up and we feel rested and ready for a new day, we move on in search of more of what feeds our soul. A little further east, and the clouds begin to lift, enough so that it's time for some exploring by foot.
Well, we're here in the Tangle Lakes archaeological region of the Denali Highway area, and we just passed Clearwater Creek, and there's two massive glaciers out that way that we want to get closer to. So we're hiking the McLaren Summit trail right now. That is 13.2 kilometers round trip, and yeah, we're just gonna go see what's over on the other side of the hill, which is kind of what hiking is about, right?
Ever since I was quite young, I've been fascinated by vastness. I think it's what led me to the north in the first place. There's something that comes over me that I can't quite put into words when I'm surrounded by big, open places.
And we found some more blueberries.
They're so ripe. Where's the bear? Why hasn't it come and got him?
Perhaps it's the feeling of being small and insignificant, dwarfed by somewhere that is so ancient and untouched. Somewhere that exudes wisdom and unmatched beauty. Somewhere like this, where the passage of time has seen countless migrations of caribou and the life cycles of animals, the growth and death of glaciers, and various upstarts and passages of rudimentary civilizations. A place of vastness, impossible to see from one end to the other. Somewhere we could be completely lost in for a lifetime.
Oh, we did it, love. How many kilometers are we at now?
16.
So 13.2 turned into 16.
Those are 3 kilometers I did not sign up for.
Oh, you did great. Betty is home. Oh, it's good to be home. Joe, how excited are you for your birthday meal?
Super excited. I am starving.
What have we got?
Burger bowls. What else?
Burger balls. All right, so just an explanation. I'm completely useless in the kitchen and cannot fit in there. That is why I did not make Meg's birthday meal. And she's just a far better cook than I am. But if you guys maybe watched an earlier episode, you would have seen burger bowls. They're basically just a burger without a bun. Very like carbohydrate conscious, friendly.
Except for we do have French fries.
But we got French fries. Anyway, we're gonna get on with this.
Yum. Happy birthday, honey.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you. Alex turned off our fridge a long time ago and didn't remember to turn it back on, so the fridge was off for 3 days. All our drinks were warm. There was a bunch of meat in there.
Oops.
We don't know if we'll die from this meat. But now the drinks are cold again. How good's that?
So good. That right there is the food face. The happy food face.
Every time.
We've parked only a few more kilometers from the exit of the Denali highway. Our time here is quickly drawing to a close. The temperatures here in Alaska are already starting to slowly fall, and the leaves are beginning to don their fall hues before falling to the ground. We still have so much of the north to explore, so we have to keep on moving.
Well, goodbye, Denali. We'll miss you. It was a good trip. Holy crap!
You guys probably stopped on the side of the road because of a shock or something. From here, we enter into what we now know is possibly our favorite area in Alaska, a place that when we return, we'll go to first. The Golcana Glacier. Wouldn't it be cool to go and walk on that? It's our final few days in Alaska. We knew from the start that this trip would be short, as our main focus for the summer is northern Canada. It seems a shame to have passed through the state as quickly as we have, but we still have a couple more days to explore. So we're gonna make the best of it. Tomorrow we'll be hiking the glacier, an experience that, as we have already found out, will be a life-changing one.
Meg, what delicacies have you made for us tonight?
Tomato soup, fried Brussels sprouts, and cheesy tofu stuffed sourdough flatbread.
Incredible.
Yum.
What is with this camera?
The mountains that surround us are big, to say the least. As we sat and watched from the cozy confines of our van, the last of the day's light punched through the clouds in true Alaskan fashion, bringing out the colors and lighting up the mountainsides. This will be a scene we'll likely never forget.
Babe? What are we doing?
Go Planet. Go.
You can do it.
Golcana Glacier.
Cool.
Alright, so as Meg said, we're doing Golcana Glacier today. I think that it's supposed to be, what, a 10K round trip?
Yeah, I think so.
10 kilometers? I don't know what the gain is, but
450.
450, so it's gonna be an easy hike, but holy smokes, it is fall here already. As you can see, we're in our jackets already. It switched overnight, I swear. Like when we got here, the temperature was quite manageable. It was, you could call it warm, but now it's cold. My hands are cold, my feet are cold. Yeah, so I'm really hoping it's not like this further inland in Yukon, because I don't want summer to be over yet.
We've had numerous conversations with people who are further along in life than us, and they've often told us that we're living life the right way. Honestly, I'm inclined to agree with them. We're not here to judge what's right or wrong. Personally, I don't believe there's a single wrong way to live, but I do know that the life we've chosen is the right one for us. We're not extravagant. We've traded nice things for meaningful experiences, comfort for freedom, and security for mobility. Since meeting almost 3 years ago, we've been traveling shoulder to shoulder in our van across North America. We've chosen to live fully now while we're young and healthy because we strongly believe that the future holds no guarantees. Nearing the glacier, we could start to see patches of ice jutting out from the hillsides. Small creeks forming at their bases, flowing down to the main outlet. The silt-filled glacier water flowing out only a half degree above freezing was a shocking hue of pale blue. We climbed up the hillside just a little bit to get a better look at the glacier valley below while eating lunch, then wandered down to walk out across this colossal sheet of ice. Before we left this magical place, I had one last thing I needed to take care of. One more life-changing moment. Check. And if you're unclear, she said yes.
Look at that rock. You see that rock? It's a nice rock. Is that the glacier where we got engaged?
If you don't know or haven't caught on by now, both Meg and I are divorcees. When we first met, neither of us was really sure if we wanted to get married again. However, over the past 2.5 years, it's become abundantly clear that Meg is my best friend. There's no one else in this world that I want to spend life with more than her. This whole time that you've been viewing these little snippets of our lives together, you've been watching an unfolding love story as two people learn to live an unconventional life and grow in trust, admiration, and respect for each other. I know we have an incredible and exciting life ahead of us, and we're both so excited to share it with you. Our time in Alaska is coming to a close, and a long drive is ahead of us tomorrow, so we're moving camp once more. Soon after leaving, we discover yet another mind-blowing scenic drive through what is now our favorite area in Alaska, for obvious reasons, of course.
Utah?
Where are we? What is this? Well, we just found camp.
I think this'll do. Are you excited?
Yes.
What have you made?
Nachos. Camper van nachos.
Camper van nachos. That's a pretty darn good engagement meal.
Yeah. Celebrate you times come out.
We got this delicious beer tonight. This Astro Fuzz Hazy IPA.
We should get more Alaska beer
Yes, we should.
before we leave Alaska.
That'll be tomorrow. Well, today is our last day in Alaska. We're heading to the Canadian border today, and we might cross tomorrow morning, but yeah, today is the last full day. Alaska's been really good to us. We're pretty happy to have been here, but we're definitely coming back. So let's get on with this drive.
Alaska, if you haven't been, is everything they say it is. It will live up to your expectations. It's probably why this is my 3rd time back, and we're already thinking about a return trip. We encourage you, if you've been on the fence about going, just go. Book the time off, buy the tickets or vehicle, and just go. Live now. You won't regret it. We both want to sincerely thank all of you who choose to sit down and travel with us for a few minutes every week. Thank you for your kind comments, well wishes, and words of encouragement. We appreciate them all. If you're new here, welcome. We hope you choose to stay. And lastly, we hope we encourage you to get outside, travel, and make your own long-lasting memories. There's a big, beautiful world out there, and you belong in it. Thank you for being here, and until the next one, keep on roaming. If you would like to directly support us by keeping fuel in our tank and food in our bellies, you can contribute on Patreon.